Yo, what's going on, people? Kojo Raps on TV here, Tuesday afternoon. Yeah, that's right. I lost my days. I'm here with one of the newest prospects. Love that. Love to see this family foot shot as well. And the man named Jahi Tucker. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. What's this? Your little boy? Your little girl?
My little son, my little brother. I'm sorry, my little brother.
Bro, to be fair, he's your little boy anyway. I'm sure you look after him in such a way that, you know, he's a little brother,
Yeah.
but you take care of him properly.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, loving that vest. So before I go into, I just wanted to do a quick intro. So for those that are not familiar with Jahi Tucker, I'm telling you, this is one of the newest prospects coming out of the States, fighting in that welterweight division. 18 years old, recently signed to top work rank, working with the J Prince, and of course he's also working with my good sister Alvina Alston. If you know Alvina, you know she always works with the best and the greatest talents there are. So Jahi, thank you for joining us on the show today. It's been a pleasure. It's a pleasure having you. How things been with you, bro? How's the family? I can see your little brother there.
Yeah, you know the family's good. You know, we just keeping everything calm right now because of COVID. You know, but everything is great. You know, everybody's in good health, and yeah, thankful.
Good. And how's it been training wise? I mean, I know obviously just various lockdowns, but how's it been like just keeping fit, keeping active, keeping in shape?
Oh, we've been training this whole time since quarantine first started. You know, we adjusted like the very first day they closed our gym. We adjusted. We just started training on the track, and you know, slowly but surely, little gyms started opening up. So training is great. We got a good camp over here. We set everything accordingly. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, perfect. And we've gone into your background, so I just wanted to know, like, when did you get into boxing, and how did you discover the love for this sport?
I got into boxing. Well, when I was younger, like real younger, like 3-4 years old, my dad, he always had like you know, little punching bags, a little, you know, the little kit that you get like models, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, from then I always knew about boxing. Then one day we moved to Star City, and I was about 7. He was like, "Yo, I'm gonna take you to the boxing gym." So he took me to Star City boxing gym. I trained, I sparred, and Coach Kenny was like, Coach Kenny Woods. He said, "Yo, man, you could be real good. You want to box?" And I was like, "Sure." Ever since then, like, you know,
you've been with it. All right. And I mean, obviously, amateur-wise, we know that you've got a top amateur pedigree. But just tell the UK listeners, tell them a little bit about what the tournaments you've been in, what you've won, and so forth.
I fought in countless USA national tournaments. I won national title. I went overseas with Team USA. I won gold over there. You know. And then this whole COVID thing started, and you know, we jumped to the pro game.
Yeah. So when you say gold, was that Brazil? That wasn't Rio, was it?
No. I'm a junior. I was a junior. Yeah. I was 16.
Yeah.
We went over to Hungary. We fought in the I forgot the name. I can't pronounce the name of the tournament, but they said it's like the second biggest tournament or the biggest junior tournament in the world.
Nice.
Yeah. So I won that.
And how did you find that sort of like international experience? Because again, you're young yourself, so doing that at such a young age, man. How did you find that?
I loved it. I loved it, man. It was crazy. Like, it was crazy because it was so different, you know? It was so different than fighting at home back in America. It just felt different.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you're at nationals, everybody's American, so like you don't really feel like you have any allies besides the people you came with. You feel me?
Yeah.
But when you go overseas and you see, yo, this is the team, this is what we got. It's like a team environment. I loved it, man. Word.
No, that's fantastic to hear. And I mean, I've got to talk to you before we go on to the top rank, which must have been a great confidence booster. Just talk to me how you started working with Alvina, how you started working with J Prince, two great, and I'm going to say it, pillars in the black community. They're doing wonderful things in the business world. Just talk to me how you started working with them.
Both of those connections came from one person, Jackal Fitness, my guy. You know, he the one who set both up with A and with well, we didn't originally meet with J Prince. We met with Mike Prince first, like, you know, and shout out to Mike Prince because he's the one who got us down to Houston, and he was telling Jay like, yo, this kid is special, this kid is good, and we sparred in front of Jay. Jay loved it, you know.
Yeah, nice.
So he flew us back out there and we signed. So shout out Mike Prince.
Yeah, yeah. And I was gonna say, so I think that's like Jay Prince's his stress test, because I heard the same thing about Andre Ward. He got Andre Ward when Andre Ward was gonna sign. He kind of saw him sparring with like heavyweights or whatever. And I mean, he's so influential in the game. You must be looking forward to seeing how he's going to support you in your journey. You look at Shakur Stevenson, obviously Roy Jones in the past, Mayweather in the past. I mean, how has he spoke to you about the boxing game? What has he taught you about the boxing game so far?
Jay, so far, he really just told me that, you know, everything's going to come to you once I've been doing what I've been doing this whole time, you know? Yeah. All I got to do is stay in line, just keep putting in the work, just doing what we do, you know, and everything's just going to come in line.
Yeah, no, that's I love to hear that. So obviously, let's talk about your credentials. You're welterweight, am I right in saying that?
Yeah, I'm fighting. I'm welterweight. I'm fighting 140, 147 right now.
Yeah, okay, nice. But obviously, you've signed with Top Rank. But again, before I move on to that, Alvina, what is she doing for you in terms of the media presence?
She's the best.
Yeah.
She's like, she like, I'm here. I'm here. Thanks to her, you know? Yeah. She got me all these interviews. She lined up a big interview a couple days from now with Cyrus Radio. Cyrus Radio.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, and that the crazy part is this is not even the beginning of what she can do. This is like just right off the scrape of the thing, you know?
Yeah.
So man, I shout out to A, man.
Yeah, it's definitely. I would say, I mean, look, I've known Alvina for a few years. She came out to London. Oddly enough, she was in London this year before COVID. We sat down, picked it up, and yeah, for me, she's a great inspiration. She's a great woman. She gives time for whoever you are, and I truly believe that she'll be able to support you in your journey. So, you know, as a young man, it's great to have somebody like that in your corner, you know?
Of course.
Yeah. And, I mean, obviously, maybe on a slightly sadder note, obviously, you mentioned Coach Kenny, who passed away. Yeah. Just talk to us how much of an inspiration he was to you as well.
Coach Kenny was the reason why I really got into boxing, like, not only the fighting aspect, but he taught me a lot of things, like I'm a student of the game thanks to Coach Kenny. He told me the most important thing as a fighter is heart. You feel me? It's not about, a lot of people get greatness confused with just being able to like just do everything perfect. Being great is being able to get beat up, right? And then being able to get back up and win again, you know, and overcome that. That's what Coach Kenny told me.
Nice.
He taught me a lot, man. So, you know, it's sad that he's not here physically to watch everything play out, but it's also a blessing because I know he watched from up top, you know?
100%. I mean, we always say the spirits and the ancestors are with us daily, so he's with you for sure, brother. He's with you for sure. And I mean, just talking about that in terms of turning pro, we saw you made your debut on the Top Rank. How was that? Like your first professional fight, televised as well? How was that?
It was cool. I'm gonna tell you something. So like when I was there and right before you walk out and stuff, right? I was really nervous. And like I walked out and I seen all the lights and stuff. For some reason, it didn't feel as bad as I thought it was gonna feel. You know?
Yeah.
I wasn't even nervous that I was gonna lose or like get beat up or embarrass myself. I was just nervous in terms of what to expect. You know?
Yeah.
Because I was new to it.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, I spoke to you about the amateur pedigree, and you've done well at the junior level. You mentioned, but I mean, obviously, this year we missed the Olympics. Were you never tempted to try and, you know, try out maybe one of the Olympic tournaments just to see, you know, what you could do?
See, that's the thing. I would have. My original plan, like when I was younger, I would have went to the Olympics because they changed the age limit. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So the age limit was originally 17. I was 17 this year, you know? So I would have been able to make the team and win gold. Then it changed to 19. So and even then I was still willing to wait to 2024.
Yeah.
But then the whole COVID stuff started and I didn't know the next time we were gonna fight. And then I was already getting offers. So I just, man, you know?
Yeah. And what was that like? I mean, you just mentioned there you was getting offers. I mean, what was that like? Just seeing different offers coming in for your signature, like to. It
was crazy because it was guys who I'd see on TV and like not even be like biggest fans, but I'd see on TV and know, yo, that's gonna be my competition one day. I'm gonna have to fight those guys, you know. Yeah. And training with those guys in my mind, like, yo, I can't slip up when I fight this person. I can't do this when I fight, you know.
Yeah.
Then be able to see them and coming to you like, yo, man, you gotta sign with us. You gotta do this. Like, come on, you know. It was a blessing.
I mean, can you give us any names of who those guys were or girls?
Shakur Stevenson, he was like the first person that because
wow,
Shakur, he was like the first person who I really said like, yo, I gotta beat this guy. This gonna be the guy to beat when I turn, you know. So, and then I got to spar with Shakur. You know, I got to spar with him. I got to, you know, we never really got to. I ain't gonna say we got to hang out, but after the sparring session, we got to talk a little bit. You know, cool guy, real cool guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it was great.
I mean, and I've got to just ask you on that point. I mean, I've seen Shakur Stevenson, and that's why I mentioned Rio. Seen him fight a few times. He doesn't get the credit he deserves. But can you tell me in your own words what you think of him as as a fighter?
As a fighter, Shakur is good. He's really good. Like, one thing that I say about Shakur, he's so calm. That's one thing that I took from Shakur. He's just calm. Under fire, you could hit him, right? And he won't try to react right away. He'll just play the waiting game, you know, and catch you later on down the round or the next round, you know?
Yeah.
And that's one thing I admire that from him. Like, he just stay real calm.
Yeah. And I mean, if again, I have to say it, you know, you spoke earlier on about being a student of the game. A lot of young fighters, I'm sorry to say it, they don't even study the game. They're not really students. So it's really pleasing to hear you say that. And I think Shakur's in that line. You know, we saw him in the corner of Joshua Greer Jr. not too long ago. Yeah. Right? So that kind of shows the maturity levels he's got. So, I mean, it's...
Stuff like when you're a student of the game, like being a coach, right? Being a coach as a fighter, once you have a high IQ, you can understand every fight. You can break down every fight and every fighter, how to beat him, you know? So that never really, it didn't surprise me when Shakur was in the corner because, like, I know he has a great IQ. So, like, you know?
Yeah, no, I mean, we've seen him display that, and I think you're right. So just tell us for the fans, I've seen a picture of you, but before I go into that, what gym are you training out of at the moment? Who are you and what coach are you working with currently?
Right now, we train with Slick Sluggers Boxing Gym right now, you know? That's out in Long Island, New York.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we train there, but we still train LA Fitness, and we run, and, you know, we even train the house sometimes.
Yeah, you got to get it in where you can, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I was going to say, so I saw a picture with I saw you in a picture with my boy, Richard Comey. As I said to you earlier, I'm in Ghana out here now.
Yeah. My guy, Richie, man. I appreciate Richie because we get good work with Richie. Every we supposed to spar today. Something came up, we couldn't spar, but shout out Richie, that's my boy.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it wasn't this interview that prevented you guys from sparring, but like you said, he's a tough competitor. Obviously, he lost the first fight a year ago, but I truly think he's gonna bounce back from that anyway, you know?
Oh yeah, you know, like I told you before, it's not even about losing because everybody loses at some point or another. It's not even about losing. And Richie, he shows he's the true champ because a lot of people, man, if they lost, they would have quit. They wouldn't even got back in the gym. They would just ended it right there. But he got back in the gym. He's in shape. He's ready. He's ready to get his belt back.
Yeah, exactly. And I was going to say, it must be an honor to kind of be around guys, you know, because, you know, that have not only just lost, but have achieved great things in the sport of boxing as well. You know, they've become world champions.
Yeah, man, it's an honor because, like, because you really get to see that the dream is not far. It's right there, you know. And yeah, that's really it. Like because you see the dream, you see how it pans out, and you get to see it, you know, live in front of you. It's a blessing, you know.
Yeah, man. I mean, at the moment, we spoke about your weight division. I mean, what do you think when you see the 147-pound division? I mean, there's some real big names in there. I mean, I
love it because I told you I'm a student of the game, and I'm more of like an old school type fighter. Yeah. I want to fight the best because I hate when people say, "Yo, this person hasn't fought anybody." So being in a weight class or a weight division where it's just a bunch of killers, knowing that, and I know from me personally, I know like skill wise, I don't think anybody's better than me, like anybody, you know. Yeah. I just feel like I gotta get more comfortable. Like give me like 2 or 3 more fights, and you're gonna see, trust me.
So I mean,
but like. Yeah, I don't feel like none of these guys could beat me. They're all great fighters, though. Don't get it. They're all great. But nobody.
And I mean, you're a student of the game, so I know you respect that. But I mean, when do you? I've got to ask you. When do you think you'll fight for maybe an international title or an actual world title? How do you think we could see that in 2021?
I'm trying to get 2021. I think the latest is 2022. You know. And if we let's say we drag our feet, 2023, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
still not far.
Huh?
I said that's not far. You'll be what, 21 by then anyway?
I'll be 20. I turn 18 next month.
Wow, there you go. So next year you actually turn 20 next year. Look at that.
Literally I'm right there. You know, so but honestly I feel like we can get it done quickly because like I said, I adapt to things fast. So after my first fight, I noticed that I had to settle down. My second fight, I noticed I have to tweak a little bit more things. You know, my third fight, I want to see how I perform my third fight, and I'll make my next adjustment. And from there, man, I'm going for a belt. You know.
And I have to say, you know, it's really refreshing to hear that because you're talking about adjustments after your first, second, leading up to your third. But I've got to also ask you, you know, you're a hot talent. A lot of people are talking about you. How do you keep your feet on the ground? How do you keep level-headed?
I look at it like this, man. Like, everybody could talk like, yeah, man, he's this good, he's that good. You know, but everybody can be beat, you know? And I'm not excluded from that list. So I just do everything I do to make sure I don't get beat.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. I know I come from very, like, hardworking people. My mom, my father, they're very hardworking people, and they emphasis like treating your first like your last. Like, you can't let nothing get to your head. First one, okay, another one. Okay, get another one and another one, you know? So my parents for teaching me that.
No, that's fantastic to hear. And I got to ask you about the game as well. A couple of weeks ago, we saw Spence Jr. take on Garcia. I thought it was a great fight, personally. Yeah. Good to see Spence Jr. back. What was your thoughts on that fight?
Good fight for him back. I'm just happy. I'm happy to see that he's able to fight. He's able to fight and be alive, man. Like, the car crash he was in from last year, that was crazy, you know? So the fact that he could even be able to get back in the ring only a year later is crazy, man. Bless him. Yeah. God bless that.
100%. And obviously we saw the UK, one of our big names in the UK is a guy called Anthony Joshua. He took on Kubrat Pulev. Did you get to watch that fight, and what was your thought?
Yeah, man. Joshua did what I expected him to do. I like Joshua, man. Joshua's a good fighter.
Yeah. Just because of what we saw Fury do to Wilder.
No, understandable.
Yeah,
I feel like I don't know who I'd pick to win the fight, you know, but I'd side with Joshua, just because I appreciate one thing that Joshua did when he lost last year, when he lost to Ruiz, you know. He took it on the chin, took it like a man, got right back in it, got his belt back in. I respect that a lot, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of people overlook that and say, oh, he lost. Nah, I look at it like, man, everybody loses, but he came back, you know?
Exactly. And I mean, we've got to speak on that because, you know, the way when he lost, how he kind of took it gracefully, said the better man won. A lot of people criticized him for that. Whereas you look at Wilder, you know, and again, I like Wilder, but what do you make of all this stuff he's been saying since the Fury loss about the costume, the arm, the coach, the leg?
I mean, I mean, even if those things did affect you, I don't think you should tell the public that, because a lot of people would look at it as like a sign of you're trying to make an excuse, you know? And as a fighter, we're fighters. When we train, we're taught to, like, yo, man, you got a broken hand, fight. You got your head hurt, fight. Back hurt, fight. You feel me? You're a fighter, so
yeah, no, for
nothing
sure.
you can do, you know. There's no sympathy like for stuff like that.
100%. So one thing I've got to ask you is, you know, what kind of fighters did you admire growing up? I know you spoke about Shakur Stevenson, but who else did you admire growing up?
I admired my favorite fighter of all time, Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather, he really inspired me to box. Like, because I seen Floyd. I trained with my dad. Floyd worked with his dad. You know, they kind of One thing I admire about Floyd is that when I was younger, I looked up to him and said, "Yo, man, I could reach that level. Like, see how famous he is, how rich he is, how good he is. Like, I could reach that level." So I'd always train to Floyd's tapes. I'd always watch Floyd's tapes. You know, a lot of more people who inspired me. Roy Jones Jr. Not even much in life, but in terms of how he boxes, though, like he's nice. That's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Lomachenko, he also inspired me to anything is possible. Like he won a belt in his third fight.
Yeah.
Sugar Ray Leonard, I took a lot of things from him. Roberto Duran took some things from him. Marvin Hagler took some things from him. It's just a lot of fighters. Pernell Whitaker, I got a lot of my defense from him. You feel me? It's a lot of fighters. Mike Tyson. I could go on and on.
And that's good to hear, because a lot of the guys, as you mentioned, some of those guys were fighting maybe before you were born, right? So the fact you know them, you understand what skill set they have, that's really good to see and hear. Obviously, you're starting young in the game at welterweight. What division do you think you could be fighting at maybe in 5-10 years from now? What do you think you could be? Maybe a junior middleweight? You think that's too much?
I'm thinking bigger than that in 10 years from then, because I'm gonna bring it up again. You know, I'm a student, and to rank myself, like me personally, I feel like to rank up the grades that I named, I feel like I got to win multiple divisions, and that's more than 3-4 divisions. So, let's see. I think I go up. I'm not touching heavyweight. I don't think I touch heavyweight, but probably cruiser, light heavyweight. I think that's the biggest I'd get.
Yeah, nice. And now they've got this bridgerweight. You never know what could come in the next few years.
That's true, yeah. Because I just remembered, if you heavyweight now, they made another weight class.
Yeah.
So even if I did become a heavyweight, I wouldn't find anybody like 230 pounds, 270 pounds, 300 pounds. I wouldn't find anybody that.
Wouldn't quite that one, yeah. So listen, Jahi, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Man.
I just wanted to say thank you for joining us. Wishing you all the best in your career. When are you fighting again, so we can get the fans to tune in?
We don't have an official fight date right now, but like, you know, they're throwing dates out there, but we don't have an official fight date yet. But once we get the fight date, I'm keeping you posted. I got you.
Perfect, man. So listen, before we go, do you want to just shout out your social media handles, let people know where they can follow you?
Add me on IG at whois_Jahi Tucker, WHOIS_JAHITUCKER. Thank you.
Perfect. Bro, and I've got to say this, listen, for a young guy, you were on time. You've been professional throughout this interview. Listen, I wish you all the best in the career, and I'm looking forward to seeing your journey moving forward.
I appreciate it, man. Hey, man, also, one thing. I love your country. I've never been there, but I just love the culture you guys have and stuff. Like, just like, you feel me? I love it. I got to come out there one day. Word.
Is that UK and Ghana?
Both. Yep. UK and Ghana.
UK and Ghana. Bro, it will be a pleasure to welcome you at any time, and I'll make sure I speak to Alvina.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Take care, brother. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day. Love.
Got you.